Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 21st. This is going to be a three-pronged video. Um, One of the things I want to talk about before I start on any of the other things is yesterday. Yesterday was Monday, and Monday is truck day at work. Now, it was also the first day of the store manager's vacation, which everybody's entitled to, so I'm not complaining about that. My only complaint was the factor that certain things weren't laid out before she left. Um, so the person she left in charge, not exactly the fastest turtle on the race field. So when I went into work, I was not surprised by the factor of the store was kind of in disarray. My surprise was the factor that probably about 95 to 98% of the truck was actually put away. They did leave us with some stuff in the back for the kitchen person to deal with, and I'm used to them leaving tobacco for me to deal with because I guess I'm the person who puts it away and deals with it in such a manner that it's not just thrown up wherever. But there was a few areas that was just kind of like, what? So yesterday was kind of hectic for me at nighttime because not only was I dealing with customers, I was dealing with trying to put away the stuff that was left behind. Um, but what amazes me, and this is even before today, or yesterday, I should say, what amazes me is how when I'm not there to close the, the night times, the men's room looks like a total disaster area. Like the girl who works at night doesn't even want to go in there to properly change out trash, let alone put in new paper, new paper towels and toilet paper. So that was a bit of a disappointment because, like, I know I trained this person to do better. So what happened Sunday night? But other than those minor little things, I don't know what caused me to have. I don't know if I should call it a breakdown or just I just didn't feel happy. I came home a little in a bit of a melancholy, I guess you'd call it. Um, I felt at a place. Excuse me, I'm not crying. It's my allergies actually acting up this morning. Um, I just didn't feel in the right place. I didn't feel like I belonged here in the States. Now I know that I've been indulging myself in looking at, Ireland and Scotland and Norway and a few other different countries, not because I want to go there, or yeah, I do want to go there, but I just I feel like America is falling apart. Not only with the government and politics, but just in general. We're not dealing with this crisis properly. We're not taking care of each other. We're not thinking about the next person. Um, we've become selfish. We've become arrogant. We've just this country is just it's falling apart, both internally and externally. I mean, it almost it almost reminds me of the stories that I've read or historical information I read about Rome. The Roman Empire fell apart internally. Some people say it was because the Democrats of the time were basically, taking everything away from the Republicans. And I say I don't know about the Democrats because I don't know when Rome became a democratic nation. But I know one of the biggest reasons why Rome fell apart was not only just because of the Republican government that was there at the time, but because Rome was trying to expand its territory too far, too fast. And granted, America was not trying to expand its territory in the same sense as the Roman Empire, where they were literally grabbing up land, thinking that the so-called barbarians couldn't handle the way things were, when it was the barbarians who nearly bankrupted Rome in the first place. Um, so it's one of those things where it's just where this country can't even take care of itself, and it's trying to I guess overstretch itself or overexert itself to the breaking point. And we all thought that there was going to be another civil war because of Obama and all the different states that were ready to break away from the union. Um, so it's one of those things where it's like, I guess all the stress is because of work and trying to do what I can around here, and just the general attitude of the people, I guess. You know, a lot of people around here are taking this whole stay at home coronavirus type stuff as a joke. It's not. Somebody actually said yesterday that there's at least 8 counts of coronavirus infected people in my county. Now, granted, Phelps County is a fairly good sized county, but still, if the number is above 5, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, it's not a laughing matter. You know, that in fact, everybody's like, oh well, we don't have as many problems as they did over in Asia. That's what we know. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who could be infected that they haven't gone to see a doctor. I haven't gone to see a doctor in years, so I don't even know if I've got it. I probably should go see a doctor just to get checked because the fact that I'm out there with the general populace, and the general populace is, I mean, I get maybe, I'm gonna highball it and say 50 people a day go through my store during my 8 hours. Out of those 50 people, maybe 10% of them are wearing masks, and maybe less than 5% of those people are paying attention to the 6 foot distancing. I've had customers come in and they're literally stacked on top of each other instead of spreading themselves apart. And I had to ask a couple people yesterday to leave because there's a sign on my door saying no more than 10 people in the store at a time. I had 12. I had to tell who, I basically had to say, if you're not paying or buying, please leave. Company policy. Which brings me to my Bible study. I was reading about Joshua. Joshua at the walls of Jericho. Now, in the read, the author basically wrote about how they had what seemed like the odds were against them, basically. That was the same thing with Joshua at the walls of Jericho. The odds were against them until an angel of the Lord. Now, according to my read, it was an angel that appeared before Joshua with a sword. Now, some people want to say that angel was Jesus. No, I'm thinking it was more Michael. Michael, according to all my research and information, was the angel who was the commander in chief of the armies of God. That's not the important part. The important part is the fact that Joshua was facing insurmountable odds. The odds were basically against him. Jericho was a fortified city that was under lockdown. And with God's aid and doing what God told him to do, he was able to defeat Jericho, bring down those walls. Now, we face odds that are stacked against us on I wouldn't say a regular basis, but we do face odds that are kind of against us. There are days where the odds are stacked against me and I just feel like I'm not going to make it through the day. Customers coming in like wildfire. There's so much to do around the store. Basically, my Monday. Um, I made it through the day, but I had, excuse me, I had basically when I got off work, between feeling overworked and overwhelmed and just bogged down and hurting like crazy. Um, I didn't know what my day was going to be like. Well, how my day was going to end, I should say. Now, yeah, I made it through, but I didn't make it through unscathed. I had, I don't have any sanitizer here. I had basically come home feeling crappy. Um, I won't lie. I did break down and cry before I fell asleep. One of the things that Jenny and I did talk about was doing see, growing up in the military, I lived not really a gypsy's life because there was always work. Dad was in the military, there was always work. We always had money coming in. So, yeah, my dreams and schemes would be to live like a gypsy, having an RV, being able to move about, visit various places and friends and family members. And she talked about maybe a meet and greet with some of the viewers, her viewers. I, I, I would love to do that, but I want to be able to do it without having to struggle for money. Now, one of the ideas was to basically during the school year, basically turn our house into a semi boarding place. We would basically live on the other end of the house. This is basically after mom passes away, of course. And then the 3 rooms down here at this end would be rented out to college students. I don't know if I want to do that. She does. I don't. It's one of those kind of like, I'd rather do like a, what do they call it? Airbnb. But my problem is I'm getting tired of I'm getting tired of things. I'm getting tired of people. I'm getting tired of feeling as if I'm forced to do stuff when I don't feel like doing stuff. I know we all go through that. But Joshua, with God's advice and doing things the way he was told to do, got him through the circumstances of his situation. So I just have to remember, no matter what the odds are, no matter what insanity, laziness, stupidness, whatever you want to call it, comes my way, if I face it with a good heart, God's word, I should be able to make it through the day. That banging noise is Jenny Ann making breakfast. If you heard it, we're having waffles. Anyhow, that will end the Bible vlog, whatever you want to call that session. Last thing I want to do before I want to sign off is yesterday before I went to work, we got packages. Some of those packages Jerry Anna has on her vlog channel, and some of it, well, pretty much everything that Jerry Ann got except for maybe a couple of items we need for projects around the house or she needs for crafting. She got me one particular item that I did not think that she got, or if she got it with, when she talked to me about it, I didn't even know what she was getting. But she got me 2 bracelets. As y'all know, I'm still a 48-year-old gamer. It's one of the vices that I have that keeps me from going too cuckoo. But these bracelets are from Assassin's Creed, which is one of my favorite games outside of World of Warcraft. And then I got myself, because I figured these would be nice for the wintertime because they will help at least keep most of my hand warm. That in fact, they've got the Assassin's Creed symbol on them, and I tried them out, and they're nice and snug, and basically they're half-hand. I guess you call it half-hand gloves because they cover everything but your fingers. Now I know there's a lot of people out there who, I guess it's kind of like the style to wear the fingerless gloves type thing. I'm not sure. I don't get clothes or wear clothes for the style factor. I get clothes or wear clothes because I like it and it's comfortable, and I don't worry about style, which some people might agree with me because of the way my face is, my hair, and whatnot. But I am who I am, and I do what I do for my own comfort. You know, yes, I get dressed up with Jerry Ann to go out to have a nice dinner together or church, which when this coronavirus ordeal stops and everybody can go back out to church and do their normal daily lives, I may or may not try to go to an actual building. Church to me is not always something you need to go to a physical location. Church can be done right here. A lot of times, and in fact, I even think the Bible says it every so often. A lot of times, one-on-one session with God is just as good, if not as important, as going to an actual building. Now I know the Bible says where there's 2 or more, I am there. At least I think I'm phrasing that right. I'm not sure. My Bible verse viewer will put in the correct term, I guess you'd say. But I'm a simple person. I mean, I want simple things. I like simple things. I don't like complexity. I don't like. I'm not a big crowd person. That's one of the reasons why I didn't really deal well with New York. Because to me, if there's more than 10 people in a room, I get anxious. I feel crowded. I feel claustrophobic. I feel just like boxed in. And that's the way I felt in New York almost all the time. Because I just felt like there's too much. Too much noise, too much people, too much whatever you want to call it. Insanity. Just and it was constant. It was so constant. It's like I couldn't think. Um, I could not. I basically I would not have been able to do this. Would not have been able to do this because I was just cranky and I was getting to the point where it was like I get bumped one more time in a bus. I get bumped one more time in the store. I'm gonna lose it. So I just kind of went. I literally. I guess the best way to do it was went into a shell. Basically, I did whatever I could to block out everything, and it there towards the end before we moved, it almost cost me a lot. But now that I'm living in mid Missouri, I'm a little bit better. There are times where even living here in Rolla, I want to get out. I want to leave. I want to go someplace different. And I think part of that is growing up as a what Jerry called a gypsy. Um, it's not that I want to be a gypsy. There are just times where I need to go someplace different. I mean, we had plans on my vacation to go to Vegas. That fell through because of the Corona issue. Um, Jenny wanted to go to New York for her 30th, 30th high school reunion. That fell through. She wanted to go to Florida for her friend's, excuse me, I got an itchy patch, for her friend's birthday. That fell through. So I'm like, it's either I need to get away or I need to send Diane away. Not because of the fact that we're having problems. It's just because I need. See, if I go with Jerry to places, I don't feel like I got my alone time. I felt like either A, I had to participate with what was going on, or B, I just wondered why I was even there. Um, the last time I actually was able to get away by myself, I mean me get away, was probably 2010 when I went to Yellowstone for a couple months. Um, so it was one of those like, yeah, I got away to Yellowstone by myself, but I was working. Um, but when I wasn't working, I was able to do whatever I wanted without a big hassle. Not saying that anything I do by myself is a big hassle, but it was just one of those like it was my decision where I went, not going with Jerry Ann someplace. And I have no idea where I was going with that now. Anywho, another 25 minute video. I'm going to sign off. Because now I'm just talking for the sake of talking. Um, anywho, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and put them in the comment box. If you're new to my channel and you want to hear more, see more, go ahead and tap that bell. You'll get a notification when I put in any new videos. My suggestion to newbies, go back, view as many or all the videos if you want to. You'll get to know me a little bit better. You'll see both sides of my coin. You'll see my negative side. You'll see my positive side. Take into account which I wish some of my other viewers would have taken into account. The negativity only happens once in a blue moon, and usually it's because something is said or something sparks it. I'm not naturally a negative person. Naturally, I'm kind of neutral. I can flip to either side. I try as I try the best I can to be on the positive side. Does not always turn out that way, which I apologize for. Anyhow, God bless. Have a good day. Be safe. See you.